Hello everybody. Today's video is going to be all about the housing market here in mid-year of 2021. Welcome back everybody. It's Gregory Martire, your local real estate expert here in the Philadelphia area, and we got you covered in Philly and out of Philly, in the suburbs. And if you're looking to move anywhere, honestly, we could help. We do have partner agents all throughout the United States and throughout the world. Today we're about halfway through the year of 2021, and boy, what a whirlwind of a year it's been. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the real estate market in general. We have a lot of people asking us a ton of questions, and hopefully I can touch base on some of those with this video. But if you have more questions or something I forgot or didn't answer, leave it in the comment below. Maybe send me an email, shoot us a text, call anytime, honestly. It would be great to hear from you. So the housing market in 2021, it's absolutely crazy. It's insane. It's great. I mean, it's lovely, but it's also hard. It's imbalanced. It's heavily weighted to the seller's side. So it's definitely a seller's market. And is there any end in sight? Maybe, maybe not. So I'll talk about it a little bit, and hopefully I can get some of your questions or issues resolved. So absolutely a seller's market. Why is that? So there's a very low inventory, and that's the main reason. The major reason is a hugely low, is that an oxymoron? Hugely low. A very, very low inventory. Comparison from this time last year. Now, right in the middle of the pandemic in 2020, June of 2020, versus today, which is June of 2021, there are 50% less houses for sale on the market currently. And you have twice the amount of buyers looking to move because people have waited because of the pandemic, and some people need to move. So there's, if you can imagine, half the amount of houses for sale, double the amount of buyers. Boom, it causes an immediate inventory issue. Now this is pretty standard everywhere. There's a major inventory problem in our beautiful city of Philadelphia and also outside of the city. Really across the United States. We're hearing it everywhere. There really isn't anywhere that it's balanced, and it's unfortunate. So how do we navigate through this? Now, a lot of people want to move, they have to move, and some people are worried, well, if the pricing of houses keeps going up, I'll never be able to afford a house. Well, houses honestly have never been more affordable. The rates are so very low. I mean, they're giving money away. We can get you rates in the twos. Yes, 2%, even less than 2%. So how do we navigate this? What is winning the bids is this. So now, I don't think I'm crazy, but those that are winning the bids are offering over asking price. And it's an average of 25%. I'm not kidding. I'm telling you the honest truth. 25% at least over asking price in cash, waiving inspections, waiving appraisal, and they're also, they being the buyers, they're also paying the seller's closing costs. Now in Pennsylvania, the lion's share of the houses that sell, the seller pays the commission. Thank you, by the way, for paying the commission. So the buyers are offering to pay the commission. They're also offering to pay the transfer tax of the seller. So if you reduce the amount of fees the seller has, the more money gets netted into the seller's pocket. So in addition to that, the buyers are writing a love letter. Now there's some experts will say the love letter, and it's a letter from the buyer explaining how much they love the house, or explaining how much they really want the house, or please pick me, and here's the reasons why. And really it's just a story about you. It's we, us, I, our family, we love the house, we were moving to the area, we'd love to be in it, we could see ourselves in it, this sort of thing. Some experts would contend or would say that some of our laws may be broken by presenting these love letters, as we call them, to the sellers because it may allow the sellers to become biased in some way. We're not allowed to, we as sellers and we as real estate professionals are not allowed to lawfully not allowed to decline anybody for any reason at all. So sometimes explaining yourself in a letter, the people are putting a picture, and it may sway the opinion of the seller in some way, or ourselves as well. It certainly could be against the law. Absolutely, I can agree with that. For me, I think it's a great thing to do. It's a good way to present yourself. It's not going to hurt anything. If they don't want to look at it, they don't have to look at it. And I advise that we do it, officially and unofficially. So whichever one won't make me get in trouble, but I think it's a great idea. So we're offering over asking. We are giving a love letter. Now, there's other tricks of the trade where, again, we're waiving inspections, which is, it's scary even to think that I'm even suggesting it, but that's what's happening. So we're able to navigate around that a little bit by having an inspector come in between by the time we get our offer accepted and we send our deposit check or we get moving on this thing. So you may be spending money on an inspection and your bid may not get accepted, but is well worth it in my opinion. Some inspectors are doing kind of a discount, if you will, half the amount of time for about half the amount of price. So they can come in and look for major items. So that's been helpful. Now, what if you don't have all cash or you haven't been saving that much money? And that's okay. We're still getting houses sold to our buyers, and we're still selling our sellers' houses to folks with mortgages. And most people do get a mortgage. They need a mortgage. And we're even getting folks the seller's assist and getting folks into houses with zero money down. That's right, zero money. Did you hear that? No, you didn't hear that because there was nothing, because I said zero. No, but for real, zero money out of pocket. Full assist from the seller, get you in. Now, it's a little more difficult, obviously, during these times. But if you don't have cash, people are honestly liquidating their 401ks and then paying for the house in cash and then refinancing the house once they own it. I'm not suggesting we do that. I'm just giving information on that's what people are actually doing. And it's working. If you have cash, you could borrow maybe from friends, family, relatives. A cash buyer is a stronger buyer nonetheless. Okay, let's say we don't have any cash. We don't know anybody. How else can we go ahead? So we're definitely getting a mortgage. Your lender needs to call behind the offer. So we make an offer and the lender is copied on it, or we would call the lender and say, hey, we just made an offer on your behalf and please call the listing agent. So the lenders then are calling the listing agent and singing your praises, telling them how wonderfully committed they are to you and how easy it's going to be for you to get a loan and how overqualified you are. And that's working well as long as it's the truth. And one of our preferred lenders actually has a $10,000 guarantee. So if they give you a pre-approval letter and you do not get the loan, they will pay the seller $10,000. There's no catch, there's nothing hidden, there's nothing fancy, nothing funny. They've had this guarantee for years, and it's super, super effective versus who are you going to choose? Which buyer are you going to pick? One that has a $10,000 guarantee they're going to get the loan. So if I don't get the loan, I'm the seller, I get $10,000. If my buyer doesn't get the loan, I get $10,000 as the seller or the buyer that doesn't have such a guarantee. Obviously, I think the choice is obvious. Now, if you have your own agent, you're watching this video, and you want to be in touch with that lender, please just reach out to us. You don't have to use us. But yes, you do. No, you do not. Actually, we'd be delighted to help you, but certainly you don't have to do that for us to put you in touch with the lender. So moving along in the same fashion, we get the lender to call behind, talk to the agent, how wonderfully qualified you are, how easy it is going to be, and also how easy is this going to be, or we, the lender, and our buyer side, going to make it easy for the listing agent and the seller. Asking pertinent questions. When does the seller want to settle? Well, why is that important? We want to give them the settlement date they want. Another thing that has become very common is the seller will sell their house, go to settlement, and remain in the house, get 30 days free rent. Usually your payment isn't due for about 30 days anyway as a buyer. Then they'll begin to make the mortgage payment of the buyer. Now, this is a normal occurrence because if you have a house to sell and you need to move and you need to buy a house, it's going to be very difficult to be a strong buyer if you have a house to sell. Even if your house is on the market, under contract, and ready to settlement, you're still going to be missing out. So we go to settlement, we close on your house, Now you're a much stronger buyer. You can remain in your home, and the buyers are used to doing that for us, and it's working out very well. So how do we afford to pay over asking or have an unlimited escalation clause or waive the appraisal? It's cash. People are coming up with money. Well, I don't have any cash. I don't have any friends. Okay, here's another little trick that's been working well. Let's say you're approved for $250,000 or $450,000. If you're pre-approved for, say right in the middle there, $350,000, we would want to focus on houses in the $275,000 to $300,000 range. Why? Because we're approved up to $350,000, so we can raise our bid up to $50,000 in the case of being around $300,000 house, still be within our budget, still be within our pre-approval status, and you become a much stronger buyer in a lower price point because you're approved for so much more. So it's something to consider. So if you have questions regarding that, I know it kind of went pretty fast and there's a lot of minutia to it, but your best bet is to definitely make the strongest offer you can. We want to provide a love letter. We want to have our lender call behind the listing or behind the agreement as well, offering to pay the seller's closing costs and commissions, and it's working very well. Well, I hope you found this information helpful, and if you did, hit that comment button. If you have a question, comment it down below, and while you're down below, hit subscribe, hit like, hit a comment, give me a call, shoot me an email. You can call us anytime. We work nights and weekends, and we're happy to help. I'm glad you stopped out. I hope this gives you a little bit more clarity on what's going on in the world, here in our world of real estate here in the Philadelphia area. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day.